Ani Sego, Tibrata Indigenous, Quebec Indigenous, Enterprise Inda, Loving Spoonful, and Denochi. Welcome to Cooking Behind the Scenes with the Kingston Indigenous Language Nest and Cooking in the Nest. So the next thing we're going to show you is how to make your own pumpkin puree. Now I have a small pumpkin pie pumpkin here, and you can use this recipe for any winter squash that's edible. We're going to do this one in the crock pot, but there's also an oven roasting method which is really easy as well. So it depends on if you have an oven or if you just want to pop your pumpkin in here in the morning, turn it on, and do whatever you're doing during the day, and then it's done for you. So this beautiful pumpkin needs a little cleaning before we can start to cut through it, because we don't want to transfer the dirt from the outside to the inside of the squash. Plus, if this was lying in some type of compost or manure, we don't want to transfer any bacteria from the outside to the inside. And this applies to all melons, squashes, what have you. So I'm going to just turn on my tap, and I'm also going to use soap. So I have some soap here. Here's soap. I'm going to use my dishcloth. I don't have a scrubber here in this kitchen, so I need to make sure this is completely clean. There we go. All right. So we're lucky today, this is fairly small, but these squashes can get pretty big. So how can you cut a round fruit or vegetable in a safe manner? Right now I have a fairly secure base, so I don't need to trim it. However, if I had an awkward shaped squash or pumpkin, then I could shave a little bit off the edge here to give myself a flat surface to work with. So we're going to do that right now. I'm just going to grab my knife. So in order to, I've already got a flat surface, but we're going to pretend this is a wonky shaped melon, or not melon, squash or pumpkin. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off. You can see how hard and firm this is. So that makes it especially important for us to have a flat surface to work from. The next thing I want to cut off is the stem. Okay, so if I wanted to bake this in the oven, I would now cut it in half, like this, and then scoop out the seeds, put it face down on parchment paper, put it in a 400-degree oven, and depending on the size, it would take me anywhere from 30 to 40, 45 minutes, or even longer. You would want to take a paring knife and poke it to see if it's completely tender, and then you can just scoop out the center. Today, we're going to chop it, put it in our slow cooker, and let it go. So notice my fingers are not underneath. I'm just going to tap it. And now we're going to scoop out these seeds and save them, because the seeds are extremely nutritious and a great snack. So we're going to scoop out the pulp and the seeds into this pie plate here. And we're going to set these aside, and I have a quick, easy recipe for how to roast these that we'll do after. So now we can peel this. If I used a peeler, like for carrots, the skin is so hard that it would take me forever. And I like to do things quickly in the kitchen because I want to go out and be doing other things outside. So there's a quick, easy way that I learned when I went to cooking school, and then through the years working in professional kitchens, and it's to use your chef or sandoko or whatever type of knife you're using. And if you use the tip of your blade here this will give you the most control and dexterity. This is where we can exert the most force on the knife. But here, I want to trim around the edges of the pumpkin and always cutting away from myself. Okay, so I'm going to start here. So you can see how I have pretty good control here. And I'm always cutting away from myself. Now I'm going to flip it around. Still, I have a flat surface. Now, do a little cleanup. Always, always, always cutting away from myself. And my last little bit here. Okay, so this can all get composted. And I'm going to move that here. This one I'm going to peel after, but to quickly cut this, and of course we don't have to have a specific shape for these because this is going to be pureed later on. Right, so this is going to go into our crock pot. If you don't have a crock pot, you could do it on the stove top. You'd have to do low heat, stir it very frequently to make sure it doesn't stick on the bottom. And we're going to add about a quarter cup of liquid to this again so it doesn't stick on the bottom. There's a lot of moisture in this fruit. However, at the beginning, the moisture has not yet released, so we want to just give it an advantage. And we're going to start on high, stir it every now and then when it starts to get soft and you can mash it with your wooden spoon, and when it's that soft, we're going to turn the heat down to low and let it continue cooking exactly like the applesauce or apple butter, and you just let it continue cooking until there's no more water pooling on the surface. Once you get towards the end, you may want to put your lid on askew so that some of the vapor can escape. And that's it. That's all you have to do. This will keep for 1 week in your fridge, or if you freeze it, up to 3 months in your freezer. So, the other thing too is you can make pumpkin pie, you can make no-bake pumpkin balls, you can have this to quickly add to save your pumpkin for later, and put it into a pureed soup. There's all kinds of applications you can use this for.